On the TV, Northern District Public Service Commissioner Chris Brown. Good morning, Commissioner. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Paul. How you
Can you
doing?
hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. This was one of those things that we had no idea was going on, and I appreciate you sending me the information. First of all, where does the buck stop on this one?
Ultimately the buck stops at HSUD, and their problems that they have up there. I'll tell you how it started if you got a second. At the end of last session, it came to our attention when one of the senators in that area, Senator Whaley, introduced a suspension resolution to try to help solve the issue that was kind of brought to light through an ice storm up there. Obviously, it didn't get done. So one of my House members in that district challenged me in my committee chair at the House at the time to help come up with a solution and help solve the problem. So I met with Speaker Gunn and Speaker Pro Tem White at the time, now Speaker White, and they said go up there and help those people. So we called a series of hearings to try to pave the way to understand exactly what's going on, because in a situation like this, it's easy to blame somebody else. And so we went on a fact-finding mission along with Representative Faulkner, Representative Kincaid, Senator Whaley, and some others to try to discern exactly what's happening and why. So we had a series of meetings with TVA, MEMA, even representatives from the HSUD to kind of tell us a little bit of what's going on. And that really opened our eyes, Paul. It was pretty amazing to hear the stories.
How long has this been going on?
It's been going on a while. As you heard in the video clips, you played 5 years ago, there was an explosion in a transformer. It's still not repaired.
Wow.
So, according to Tom Suggs, at least just his testimony, 5 years or more.
Is it to the point where the state auditor also should come in and look at this, or has he looked at it?
I think he's already been up there. I think the problem is, and Tom Suggs is with TVPPA. Just to kind of give you some background there, TVPPA is a group it's a group that represents all 153 utility districts in the TVA Valley. So that covers all the states in the TVA Valley. Well, Tom Suggs, TVPPA, Holly Springs Utility District is a member of TVPPA. So the legislature appropriated about $70,000 last year to hire them to evaluate that system. And that's where Tom Suggs came in to try to give us a picture of what's going on.
One of the things that they did, Commissioner, was they showed one of the substations, and it was noted from Tom, you're not supposed to have any grass in a substation at all. And he took a picture of the substation from Holly Springs, and it was just overgrown. And then he swung the camera around, and on the same property was the substation from TVA, just gravel, clean, absolutely pristine. And my question is, why did this not come to light during the years Presley was there, Brandon Presley?
It's a good question. A lot of people, I know he did go up there and talk to a lot of people and hear their concerns, but ultimately nothing happened. And in his defense, I guess, there's nothing that the Public Service Commission can do other than use its influence and bullhorn to draw attention to it and help work legislation
exactly
in the process.
What you've just done, though. I mean, that's pretty powerful, and these people have been suffering a long time on this one.
While I was registering my children for school, in the hour that I was there, the power went out 3 times.
Yeah.
And in that time, the Wi-Fi routers have to be reset. Everything has to reboot. When my kids are school-issued laptops, I have to hotspot them from my cell phone. We don't get cell service because the towers go out. So how are my children supposed to get an adequate chance at an education? There are a lot of single mothers, single fathers, single people who are struggling right now. And I come home to a house that's hot because I don't have power. And when my refrigerator is going out and I lose all them groceries, I have to pay to replace them. Nobody pays me back. I have to go to a gas station with jugs of water to fill up to bring back to my house so we can use a bathroom or wash our hair in a sink.
Northern District Public Service Commissioner Chris Brown. Chris,
Yes.
Are the people paying their utility bills? I mean, are they? Is it delinquent? A lot of people delinquent, or where's the money going?
No, they're paying their bills. The best we can discern, TVA is supposed to get reports from HSUD, financial reports and other things to stay in compliance, and they just haven't done it. So we don't know exactly where they're at financially because we can't get the data or information that they need to try to make that decision. That video clip you played, we had a hearing over last summer. We actually met at Russ College in Holly Springs and allowed constituent or ratepayer input, and it was amazing. It's over 2 hours long, but that story you played is retold over and over and over. And this is not a Republican Democrat issue; it's a suffering issue.
Is Russ College on the system too?
Yes, they are. Yes, sir.
Whose job is it to appoint a new general manager? I mean, who should be doing that? Is it a board, or where does the new general manager, who has the authority to hire him or her?
The city of New York, of Holly Springs, and that's the issue too. Really, Paul, is that you've got a Holly Springs utility district, which the city runs, and so they elect the board, which appoints the leadership of HSUD. But outside the city, those people, which is over 80% of the connection, 80% of the business, they don't have any representation at all.
Is that by codification, some constitutional thing, or how to? In other words, 80% of the people have no voice in this whatsoever in the county.
They don't, and I think that's the issue. And it was testified to us too that it is. The more you dig in, Paul, the more amazing it is to know that it's happening right here in Mississippi, much less in North Mississippi in our district.
As you said, when you hear some of the testimony, it is heartbreaking.
We were without power for 96 hours.
Whoa! Did he say 96 hours? I think he...
Yes, sir.
We were without power for 96 hours. There were no poles down. There were no wires down. There were only fuses that were tripped. 96 plus hours. No less than 36 hours at a time, probably, for fuses that were tripped. We feel like we are not being heard. It is a crisis situation.
There are people that are dying. We have elderly people that go for hours, if not days, without power. Whose fault is that going to be? Are we going to blame that on Mother Nature? Even on a sunny day, the power can go out.
We're tired. We're just tired. For 30 years, something has gone wrong in Marshall County.
Yeah.
Someone has to give an account. All we're asking is that someone from Marshall County to Jackson, Mississippi, give us some answers. That's all.
Absolutely amazing. And
powerful,
right now,
Paul.
the winds in Holly Springs 13 to 18 miles an hour with this front coming through. And then that's just the minimum. They're going to get more and more as we get toward nightfall with this tornadic system moving through.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure they're going to have a lot of outages.
The interesting part is it can be a bright, sunshiny day, as you heard in one testimony just then.
Yep.
Just in the last 90 days, they've had 133 outages. And it's become so... in the last 90 days, they've had 133 outages.
Crazy. Look, a little bit more, and I got one more soundbite for you, and I'll let you wrap.
18% of the city's budget comes from county residents. That's right. County residents who don't have a say on the governing of the city. County residents who don't have a say on the governing of their utility department. county residents who haven't had a say at all.
We went out and we bought a generator because we're forced to, and when the power goes out, we have to pay $3.50 for gas to put in the generator.
The people are saying that they're going to have to sell. Who's going to buy it? Nobody will buy now because they don't want to live in this either.
I called the light company back trying to tell them, ma'am, you've done reported an outage in your area and there is no outage. I had to literally call 911 to tell them I did not have power and my lines were down. They had to finally send a cop out there to finally report that yes, I did not have no electricity. A lady replied to me. She said, you know, I'm one of those that's on oxygen and dialysis. I can't be at that meeting because I'm just not physically able. But the thing that broke my heart is she was getting her dialysis at her home. Something's got to be done. We have to have help, and we have to have it now.
The HSUD, the Holly Springs Utility Department, covers a large area, even Ashton and Benton County, according to Dustin in Walnut. They service water and gas as well as in some of the areas. Do we have the same problem with water, Chris, as we do with the electricity?
It's not near as catastrophic. It is a crisis up there, Paul. And this district actually goes into Tennessee. The utility district goes into Tennessee as well.
All right, so
and I can tell you, there is.
What are we doing about it? What are we going to do about this?
Well, through the series of meetings over the summer, the legislators in that area have gotten together and crafted a bill called Senate Bill 2453. It's 2453. It's already passed in the Senate and then the House. So there was one amendment placed in it on the House side, so it goes back to the Senate. But what that legislation does, we want to let the people in that district know we hear them and that we want to give them some relief. We want to be able to hold somebody accountable for all this failure and all this suffering that the people are going through in that district. And this will give the Public Service Commission an avenue or make it to where we can go in and help solve that problem, which our hands have been tied in the past. But thanks to the legislators that are working on this and that voted for it, again, Senate Bill 2453, that's going to allow us to go in and try to give these ratepayers some relief.
So you're saying the mayor and they have a board of aldermen and councilmen. I'm not sure. You're saying they ultimately are responsible for this.
Yes, sir. Yeah, the city controls how the HSUD is run because the county has no say so, and so everything falls in the lap of the city government. And the city employees, like Tom Suggs, you played a clip. The employees are doing everything they can to try to keep this system together. But again, as you heard TVPPA, again, Holly Springs Utility District is a member of, say that the system is so degraded in such bad shape that it's basically starting from scratch to try to rebuild this thing.
What is amazing to me is without a leader who knows what they're doing, and apparently the people who are in charge don't have the engineering degrees that is necessary to make those decisions. But we're talking 46,000 watts of power and jobs that you got to have somebody who knows what the hell's going on there. I mean, if you've got a guy who was burning gas about 6 months ago telling you to climb up on a pole and do this or that, it's a wonder we don't have some people killed.
Well, a couple of years ago, there was a lineman that was electrocuted and passed away. And it's so bad, Paul, that all the utility districts and co-ops all help one another. When you have a catastrophic event, everybody comes in from the surrounding and all over the state. Our linemen are amazing. Our co-op operators are absolutely amazing. They have one of the best system in the country. This is one of 153 that is not operating properly. And so when they have a catastrophic event, people won't come in and help because it's not safe. The line, it's just not a safe environment for those other linemen to come in and try to help.
I only got a couple of seconds left here. Is there any other system in your district under your domain there in the North Mississippi area that's as bad as this or anywhere near this?
Yeah. No, sir. This is one, again, Tom Suggs out of the whole TVA Valley. This is one of 153, and it's that catastrophic. It's a crisis up there, and people are suffering.
Do they have a current contract as far as the vegetation is concerned? And if they do, somebody's not doing their job.
Well, to my understanding, they haven't had one. They're trying to get on it now. But Paul, that's only one component of it. Even if you clear the vegetation out, which is estimated to be 15 million just to clean the vegetation, then you got to rebuild the system.
It's got to be one of the first things you do to clear it so you can get to some of it. We heard some of the other stuff that we didn't have a chance to play, that some of the switches, dials, and monitoring systems, they can't even get to them. Look, keep us informed of this one. Love to have you back in the studio at a later date for an update update on this. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. We got news.